The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "Whoever loves me will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our dwelling with him. Whoever does not love me does not keep my words. Yet the word you hear is not mine, but that of the Father who sent me. I have told you this while I am with you. The Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything and remind you of all that I have told you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give it to you. Do not let your hearts be troubled or afraid. You heard me tell you, I am going away, and I will come back to you. If you love me, you would rejoice that I am going to the Father, for the Father is greater than I. And now I have told you this before it happens, so that when it happens, you may believe." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
In his book called Why Catholics Can't Sing, in the chapter called The People Without Music, the author Thomas Day tells a story of an elderly Irish lady in the early 1970s attending one of the new masses post-Vatican II in a grand old parish. During the entire mass, she was energetically fingering her rosary beads. That was her focus in the mass. She would stand up and kneel and sit at all the right times, but her focus was on her rosary. And Day recalls the time came for the handshake of peace, and it was one of the new things in the new mass that at first made everybody feel uncomfortable. A man turned to the old Irish lady and said, "May the peace of the Lord be with you." She looked at the proffered hand as if it were diseased and said, "I'll keep my language clean here, everybody. I don't go for that stuff." I kept it clean, but everybody else in our church heard what old Irish lady said back then, and she went back to her rosary. The sign of peace. For all of us who were born and raised in the post-Vatican II church, that's one of our Catholic traditions. We don't know anything other than that. And we have our memories of the sign of peace. For me, it's usually squeezing the heck out of my siblings' hands, or I should say squeezing the peace out of my siblings' hands and then get in trouble for it later. The origins of the sign of peace, because it wasn't a part of Catholic tradition for a while, but it goes back to the earliest days. This is from a 4th century church document. The bishop is to salute the church and say, after the prayer of the faithful, "Peace of the Lord be with you all." And the people were to respond, "And with your spirit." Then if there's a deacon, he would say, "Salute one another with a holy kiss." That's how Catholics, as part of our worship in the early centuries. The kiss part is still around, maybe for some of us with family life, and the kiss part is especially Mediterranean. In the Middle Ages, in Catholic church history, the sign of peace was eliminated. And so some of our old-timers, you never did that in church. Up to the 1960s, the sign of peace only happened with the clerics up there in the sanctuary. And so, for many years, we Catholics did not hug each other, kiss each other, shake each other's hands, or even greet each other once we got going with the beginning of the Mass. In 2014, Rome decided through the Congregation of Divine Worship, because there's a debate, should we get rid of the sign of peace? Is anybody even making much use of it? Or is it just an empty gesture? They decided to keep the sign of peace, to keep it where we have it. It's after the consecration and before we receive Holy Communion. But Rome encouraged dignity and restraint. The rite is also optional. So if nobody's out there in the congregation, the priest doesn't have to do the sign of peace for the Mass. And Rome also specified there shouldn't be any special peace song during the sign of peace, and there shouldn't be excessive movement. And maybe you've seen that. Sometimes Father Mike over there at St. Francis has to say, just stay in your pews over there. You don't have to go all over the whole church to give people signs of peace. And even we priests are not supposed to leave the sanctuary to give the sign of peace. This weekend, the origins of the words that we hear every Mass from Jesus. Again, remember how scriptural the entire Mass is. Jesus' words. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. His words from the gospel, and we Catholics get to hear those same words every single Mass. But this is a key part of what he says. This is his follow-up. Not as the world gives, do I give it to you. St. Paul also encouraged Christians, he said this, greet one another with a holy kiss. St. Peter also said, greet one another with a kiss of charity. From the glad-handers to the germaphobes, there's no shortage of diversity of opinions what to do during this time of the Mass. That's from Catholic bloggers Deacon Joel Schmidt and his wife. There are two things quantifiable that you either give or you don't give before you receive at Mass. All Catholics come here to receive the body of Christ. There are two things that you quantifiably either give or you don't give before you receive. Number one, the first thing is the money. Number two is some kind of sign of peace. Again, quantifiable, visible. These aren't symbolic gestures, both the money and the peace. Symbolism. If we just put in a symbolic $1 bill, and I know we don't do that here, that means your church will get shut down. Symbolism is effective for little kids to learn what to start to do. And then adults have to take it to another level to keep what they value going. So that's the first thing, quantifiably, we give. The second thing we're called to give is the sign of peace. And again, if it's merely symbolic, if it's empty, we don't even think about it, watch in different ways how it'll shut down the church. Maybe not our physical church, but church in the bigger sense. Changing times call for changing roles and responsibilities. You see that with family life, with moms and dads, grandpas and grandmas. Changing times to changing responsibilities. This new Mass, which is still called the new Mass, Novus Ordo of Paul VI since Vatican II, accounted, that was the intent and the goal. Changing times, changing responsibilities for Catholics. Do you know what the church decided 50 years ago? Put the responsibility on us? We might not think about it, but the peace of Christ, which he talked about in the gospel today, will only circulate in the Catholic Church and in the world if we are disciplined to give and to receive. Notice all the little disciplines of the Catholic Mass. The discipline of the sign of peace, which lasts about 3 to 10 seconds, is a discipline that we can continue here, this Mass, don't even think about it, but it becomes a part of what we do. And it's supposed to continue beyond these church walls. That was the thinking of the church. It's only going to exist in this world if Catholics are disciplined to practice Christ's peace. We know this. We don't give up meat on Fridays anymore as Catholics. That was a discipline. You can do it if you want. And it was a worthwhile discipline. But there is a hidden discipline that's part of our lives in modern Catholicism. And it's the responsibility to give and receive the peace of Christ. So what form does that take? Reaching out, touching human being. You know how powerful that is in general? And you've seen it at every stage in life. From baby to dying person. The power of touching and acknowledging somebody you actually care about. You see the power of looking into somebody's eye and communicating something with them. We're in this together. Jesus wanted us to pass along something in the touch and in the look. That we're in this together, something of Him in that exchange. We're above ground for right now. Soon enough, we'll be in the earth. Later on, we hope our souls will meet somewhere beyond. If we don't exchange currency of Christ's peace when we're above ground here like this, especially among our families first, nuclear family, Catholic family, how do you think the peace of Christ will be passed along in this world? Remember the second part of what Jesus said in the gospel. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Christ's peace does not naturally exist in nature or in the world. Just like Jesus was not in the world until He was born. And His flesh and blood did not exist as a sacrament until He willed it at a given point in time. Christ's peace